Hello, we are live to episode 2 of the Minutemen Pod with Max Naya and John Zezafagian. John, welcome back. How are we doing?
I'm good, Max. It's been a nice weekend. I'm happy to be back and talking some Patriots before the week begins. How are you doing?
Doing well. So we're upcoming on the NFL draft. At the end of this month, got a couple other things that we want to discuss related to the Patriots and their draft and just the NFL in general. So if we want, let's get into it. We can hop right into some news that's dropped this past week. Some hot seat news regarding our head coach, the birthday boy.
Happy 71st birthday, Bill.
Yeah, happy 71st, Bill.
But really, I mean, when did we recorded last Monday or Tuesday, and the day after, I think Kraft just dropped a bombshell and basically was saying, Bill, you're on the hot seat, and if you don't make the playoffs this year, guess what, Matty? You're not going to reach that number one all-time wins as a New England Patriot. So I don't know. I really hope.
Yeah, do you think it was right for? You think it was right for Robbie K to put Bill on the seat like that and kind of make a call out like that?
No,
I feel like that's something that owners don't do in general, regardless of their head coach. And the fact for Robbie K to fucking put Bill in a corner like that.
See, I just, like we talked about previously, I just think that they're both in like a weird territory where they've never been in this situation. They had Brady for 20 years, very successful, obviously. But I just think they both need to take a step back and be like, all right, Bill, do you have a plan in place? Hopefully he does. He hired O'Brien this past offseason, made some okay moves, I guess, but I don't know. Time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, I guess only time will tell. But I think Robbie's right, and in some point where it's put up or shut up time for Bill.
Yeah.
We've been in this is year 3 of our so-called rebuild. So we don't want to. We don't really want to be considered.
Is it year 3 or 4?
Cam Mack, year 4 of the rebuild. Yeah, I forget Cam Newton played for the New England Patriots that 1 year.
That was what a terrible year that was. Fumble after fumble after fumble. But
Super Cam.
He was
Cam
great.
Newton?
He was great. Week 3.
Remember Cam Newton when the Panthers re-signed him?
I'm back.
What did he yell at the Cam?
I'm back.
Was that what he was yelling?
I think he had 2 rushing touchdowns, and then he went
back. No, it was that. It was I'm back.
Yeah. he took off his helmet and just yelled, "I'm back."
Got a flag called on him.
Yeah, he's obnoxious.
Auburn Pro Day was doing that weird drill that all the quarterbacks seem to do these days, where they loop on the backside of the pocket and throw a bomb. I've never seen anyone do that in a game. So.
And then how about him releasing a video really stating what teams he wants to be a backup for? Like Cam,
so weird.
Cam, I think they would reach out to you if they wanted you. Yeah, Deshaun. So it's really he should just hang him up. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing.
That list was so weird. It had Sam Howell and Deshaun Watson on it.
I know, but he kept praising Deshaun. He's like, well, whatever Deshaun did in the past, it's in the past, and I think he's a better man. Like, all right,
yeah, whatever.
All right, Cam.
Whatever, you rapist.
Yeah. But getting back to Bill and Mac, and they're just really, it seems like a dysfunctional relationship at this point. So Bobby K put, we know, Bill on the hot seat, and then Bill, so Pro Football Talk, Florio dropped a bombshell, you could say. I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday, saying Bill has shopped Mac Jones to 4 other teams. I think they were the Texans, Commanders, just 4 teams with terrible quarterbacks. I don't think that's true. I listened to Teddy Bruschi. He mentioned something. He said this goes against Bill's just what he believes as a coach and a team builder. So I personally don't believe he was shopping. I think he may have picked up the phone a few times when somebody called. But I don't know.
Yeah, well, Mac posted a little happy birthday coach Instagram post yesterday. That was pretty heartwarming to see. Mac also went to local Dick's Sporting Goods to sign signatures.
Yep.
That was pretty cool too. I feel like Bill. I agree with you in the point where I think he picked up the phone and listened to offers. But I think you could put that in the same category of shopping him. If someone calls and says, "Hey, this is we want Mac Jones, yada yada," this, I think that should just either be an automatic hang up if he's really committed to Mac. But I don't think Bill thinks. I think Bill's like everyone else. He needs to see Mac prove it on the field again one more year. I know that was primarily Bill's fault, put him in a bad situation last season with his coaches, but still, kid's got to go out. And perform.
we can get into this in our next segment, I guess, about the addition of Bill or the addition of Bill O'Brien. But question for you: are you buying or selling stock in Mac Jones right now?
I'm buying. It's at the lowest it's ever been.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I mean, you're just dollar cost averaging at this point.
Yeah, no,
because a lot of chance people bought in on him high at the end of his rookie season. End of his rookie year, his stock was at the highest. He was the best rookie quarterback that year.
Yeah.
Coming into year two, it was just a complete in a downward motion all the way down to rock bottom in the sense.
To completely agree with you. But you put anybody else in that situation, they're going to struggle. I'm sorry. You had Joe and Schmo calling the offense. Just terrible. But really, I think if anybody declares that Mac Jones is really good or really bad, is stupid and dead wrong. Because we really haven't seen him. This will be the year that we're able to judge Mac Jones. He's got a good foundation. He's got more support now with coaching. And really, this is make or break.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of to relate his NFL career. It's kind of been the opposite of Trevor Lawrence, where Trevor Lawrence was stuck in the clown show his rookie year with Urban and that whole situation. And then second year, you see Peterson come in with some good assistant coaches around him and an improvement at the wide receiver position. And you see Trevor Lawrence excel himself into a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
And what did they do again this offseason? They traded for Calvin Ridley. That's how I think
they got a number one.
They got a number one for their young quarterback. Something Bill simply refuses to do.
And they also went out and they had got Christian Kirk in the offseason, who was, I still think, is going to be Trevor's number one guy.
Oh yeah,
going forward. I mean, he's just the ultimate consistent, check down. And Zay Jones, who
and Evan Ingram, you can't forget he was a dog
Evan
last
Ingram.
year.
Those guys performed like how we wanted Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, how we wanted those guys to perform. That's what the Jaguars guys are doing, and I think that's position coach and play calling and all of that comes down to putting those players in that position.
Exactly.
And that's something we didn't have really all of last year. And
I agree. What does Bill say? Players, I forget what it's. Players can win games or something. It's something players and coaches.
I think coaches put the players in position to win games or something like that.
And did a terrible job of doing that last year.
And if that's not the saying, then that should be the saying. So that was a good saying.
That was a great saying.
We should put that on a T-shirt.
We should. But
T-shirts. Speaking of T-shirts, visit www.minutemenpod.com. Visit the merch store. Check out the newly designed logo.
Got some sweatshirts. Got some T-shirts. Hey, got some koozies. It's golf season.
High noons. Got the slim cans. Got the stubby cans.
Yep. Go check it out.
Johnny and all his friends like drinking Bud Light. You could put that in the stubby cans.
Yep. Yeah. But next, I do want to discuss more Mac Jones. So, I feel like you could say more than 50% of the fan base wants Mac Jones traded. And
do you think that's do you think it's a possibility at the end of the season if he goes and performs like he
Oh,
say the numbers he puts up are equivalent to just his rookie season numbers. Like what is the bottom line Mac Jones needs to reach? I mean, because an improvement on last season, I mean, anyone could do that. That's like it needs to be. I think we need to set his expectations at an improvement above his rookie season.
I agree. They need to be better than his rookie season. This is his third year. He's got Bill O'Brien, who's I think a great play caller, understands the system. So yeah, it's got to be better than his rookie season because guess what? If they don't win a playoff game this year, I'm sorry, they should clean house from A to Z and restart this rebuild because right now we're stuck in no man's land with this roster.
Yeah, no, I don't think the bar should be set as high as to win a playoff game. I think we need to focus on getting back in the playoffs just based off of the division that we're in the NFL.
I disagree.
I mean, we have the Bills and Dolphins to compete with. We need to get back in the playoffs, and then anything can happen from there. But
I disagree.
I think they need to focus on that.
We said the same exact thing 2 years ago against the Bills. Hey, guess what? Anything can happen. And guess what? We got curb stomped.
Sean McDermott.
Curb stomp. What was it, 47-14?
Sean McDermott, you bald fuck!
Oh, fucking Sean McDermott. Guess what?
That guy.
Guess what? If bold prediction, if Sean McDermott doesn't win a Super Bowl this year, he's getting fired because that roster is too talented not to win.
I think they need to, at least get to an AFC championship. It's kind of pathetic that they haven't been to an AFC championship game.
Yeah, and Stephon Diggs, what a terrible teammate. Going back to the AFC, divisional game last year, where he's just mocking Josh Allen and getting in his ear. Like, guy was playing with no.
He's a dog.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Speaking of the Bills in our division, there was a video that surfaced, I think today, of D-Hop, and the guy was asking him what teams he'd want to go to. Started with the New England Patriots, and he made like a brush off kind of face, and the two faces that he was excited towards were the Bills and Chiefs.
That's fine.
Does that scare you at all?
No, I don't want D. Guess what? I don't really want D-Hop. D-Hop's not what we talked about this in the last episode. We don't need that. I don't think. We need a guy that's going to catch the ball, make two guys miss, and a house call. I think like a possession guy. We don't need that. We've got Devontae Parker, who's obviously not in the same tier as D-Hop at all, but similar players.
But what does that mean for the Patriots if it's D-Hop and Diggs lining up against Jonathan Jones and Marcus Jones?
I mean, we have to get a corner. Like we have to get a corner. I think, for sure.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like the Bills, they're gonna kick our teeth in probably again next year. But they don't worry. Like I don't think they'll win a Super Bowl ever.
Yeah, the only reason they don't scare you is because of Sean McDermott. I think he's a lackluster head coach.
And honestly, Josh Allen is top 3 quarterback in the league, I think. But I don't know if he'll ever win a Super Bowl.
When he doesn't play like a buffoon, though. Like sometimes he makes these like bonehead like.
No, I agree.
Dude, think with your head and not your physical attributes.
Yeah, I agree. And see, that's back to Mac Jones. That's when he was coming out of school. That's his strength, where he was able to break down defenses. And I do hope Bill O'Brien really installs that into him, because we know he was a broken quarterback last year, but really just needs to rebuild his confidence and just start from there. Yeah,
and there's reports that were coming out like Bill. A big attractive thing was him that he would be able to come to New England to work with Mac Jones specifically.
Yeah,
kind of build off that brief connection that they had at Alabama for that one off season when Mac was on his way out, Bill was on his way in.
Yep.
So I think it's exciting to see that they're actually, when off season, what is it called?
OTAs?
Something playbook input or whatever gets started like in a week, so they'll actually be able to sit down and actually get to work with each other.
Yeah,
which will be cool.
And I did see that Albert Breer said that basically Billy O is restarting from the ground up to rebuild that offense. I saw he's going to use what Mac used at Alabama, a lot of RPOs, and really just use other I guess schemes that he used with Deshaun. So I'm excited. we'll see.
Yeah, I hope Matt can really build a good connection with these receivers. I think, the two, if I were to say the receiver that he was off the most with was Aguilar, but Kendrick Bourne, him and Mac, I feel like they've always had a good connection.
Yep.
Him and Parker had a good connection last year.
Yep.
I hope him and Juju can get along. He's had a good connection with Hunter Henry too. So I think we've kind of narrowed it down to a good core receiving group for Mac.
Yeah, but I do think somehow, some way, I really wish they were able to get their hands on it, just an alpha. I think it would make
like a dog.
Yeah, it'd be such
still
a difference.
Possible with the draft, I think.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
I think it's still possible with the draft.
I think they're going to draft. Honestly, they could draft 2 or 3 receivers because after this year, there's 2 receivers under contract. Thornton
I
and
can see us,
Juju. That's it.
Yeah, I can see us skipping out on a first-round receiver and then going 2 later in the draft.
I agree. Like
a second rounder and a fifth rounder.
Yeah.
I don't think we draft. If we don't draft a receiver in the top 3 rounds.
Yeah, I think we will.
Because I think that just goes to show that Bill's going to have he has too much faith in the receivers that we have right now.
I think he's got. If we don't draft a receiver, I think he's got too much faith in Bill O'Brien. Honestly,
that's what I mean. In the top 3 rounds, I think if we wait till outside of those 3 rounds, we're really shooting for. You're really banking on him being a stud.
But I mean,
so what do you think? What do you think Mac is going to be the biggest improvement on Jones this season? Working with Billy O, what do you think you're going to see from how he ended last season to how he ends this next season?
Honestly, I don't even think it's his play. I think it's going to be the way he approaches the game,
his attitude.
Yep, and the way he treats his teammates. Because, I mean, last year he did not do a great job of that. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. He's an emotional guy, which can be good and bad. But last year was definitely bad. But
it's like you in golf.
Yeah, exactly. We're competitors.
Slamming your clubs.
Yep.
Turn dogs to the dome.
We're competitors. We're both built from the same cloth. What can I say? But yeah, no, I'm excited. I think he's going to be a better leader, more respected. Everybody's going to be on the same page. People didn't know what play they were running last year. Linemen had no idea. I'm just excited everybody's going to be on the same page this year. All right, what do you think? Yeah, what do you think?
I think it was going to be I think he's going to have a total attitude adjustment, and I think this season the Patriots culture is going to get turned back on. I think something they lost that a little bit last year. I think Billy O, especially with this offense.
I am fired up for week 1.
No, Billy O, I think, is going to come in, and one of these dinky-dunk fuckheads last year who didn't have him in the room is going to maybe say something or do something, and Billy O is going to shove his foot right up their ass and kind of just turn that fire back on. And, you could see old videos and clips. I was watching, old YouTube videos of Billy O and, Brady and stuff yelling at each other on the sideline. That's nothing Mac has had to deal with any coach. Mac would rip into Patricia, but it's not like it was the other way around. Billy O knows how to really turn it on and get under people's skins. Yeah. I think it's going to be a total attitude adjustment from Jones to where we'll see him change from that scared little boy into an alpha leader starting NFL quarterback. Something that we haven't seen from him yet. He's always kind of been this timid, bitch and moaning kind of guy. I don't know. And I'd like to see him kind of just turn it on and not take no for an answer, and not complain about anything, and just put his head down and go to work.
You also, what was I listening to today? Very interesting comment I heard. Maybe all the smoke that Bill's blown up Mac's ass, maybe he's just trying to put as much pressure on him as possible. Going back to the Zappy basically saying we don't have a starting
making him feel uncomfortable. I think that's
he's
making him feel uncomfortable.
I think that's a great thing, because really Mac has never dealt with much adversity. He's played with a bunch of first-round players at Alabama, won a national championship. And I do think he needs some adversity, and I think Bill, my mind has changed a little bit on what Bill and how he's been treating him. He definitely needs to treat him a little more respectfully, I think, but I do think that this will help Mac.
I'm tired of hearing you bitch and complain about like Bill not treating Mac with any respect or anything. Like, grow
what are
up,
you
dude.
talking
This isn't
about?
like patty cake.
What are you
You
talking
just said you're
about?
like Bill needs to treat him with a little bit more respect.
Because guess what? This goes for all the people in New England
Dude,
that
oh my
want
God.
Mac Jones traded. Be careful what you wish for.
This
Be
is like a
careful what
personal
you wish
vendetta.
for.
Get this personal vendetta out of your head.
Be
You think
careful
that,
what
like,
you
Bill-
wish for.
You think that Bill hired some like hitman on Mac Jones and that like he needs to like chill out?
I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say, but I think that Bill needs to treat him with
All
more
right.
respect.
Also, people need to start treating you with respect. I think this is an underlying message. All right, Vegas spoke on what they think of the New England Patriots in our division. They had us at plus 800 to win the division with a 7.5 over/under for wins. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm gonna take the over, to be honest with you. Like, I think 7.5.
Is that disrespectful, or is that a result of performance on last season?
It's completely reasonable, honestly. I think it's a reasonable number, but I just think they're going to be so much better than last year with just the additions of the coaching staff, I think. What do you think?
I think it was kind of a disrespectful lie. I don't think it was reasonable just because, it's not like that's a unattainable kind of score. I mean, it's more so like, I think with the moves we made in the offseason, they should have set that a little bit higher, at least at 8.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
7.5. Come on, man.
I'm just thinking right now. I mean,
even if we barely scraping over, that's still a losing record.
Yeah, once the schedule drops officially in a couple weeks, we'll definitely do a schedule breakdown of multiple times, really.
Yeah.
But I do think that we're gonna split we'll win We'll win at least one game versus every division opponent. We'll beat the Dolphins once this year. We'll beat the Bills once this year. I hope so. The Jets, we can we own the Jets, so it doesn't matter. Friggin' Aaron Rodgers is back there.
A-Rod. I hope they get A-Rod, man.
Same. I want some guy to just crunch him in the pocket.
Put his smug ass, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Barrymore come face plant on him.
Oh yeah.
How about Barrymore? Did you see that thing that he had like a...
I don't think we should comment on it.
No comment.
No comment.
Great player on the field.
Yeah, that was a little questionable. Like, what are you doing? But I don't know.
All right. Let's get into some draft news here. We can talk Patriots strategy and how we think that they're gonna kind of take on this draft.
Yeah.
I think personally, I know you have different thoughts on this, but I think personally, we should attack position points and the highest pain points that we have, which are a playmaker on offense and a lockdown cornerback on defense.
Basically,
I think with the first pick,
two playmakers. Really?
I'm just saying with the first pick we have and the first two picks is we need to address those pain points regardless of who got taken beforehand. I don't think we can afford to do anything else.
I agree. I do think the three biggest positional needs right now, or let me backtrack. So Bill's, the way he approached the offseason, I kind of liked. Basically, there's no glaring holes. Like, there's probably two glaring holes. A number one cornerback and I guess you could say a number one receiver. But other than that, they have a player in each depth chart, in each role. So basically, I think this allows Bill to go with the best player available at every single selection, whatever that may be. And compared to last year, they went Cole Strange in the first round. Hopefully, he's an All-Pro, but they didn't. They went with holes to the draft, and I don't think they're going to do that this year.
All I'm saying though is best player available. I mean, would you be pissed off if they had the best left tackle available in the draft and we went best player available who happened to just be an outside linebacker?
And you want to know what? No, because outside linebacker.
Would you be?
That's a sneaky need next year. Judon's going to be 32, and
yeah,
Uche,
I know it's a sneaky need. But who's that left tackle? Who's the tackle out of Tennessee?
Darnell Wright, right tackle.
Would you be pissed if we skipped on him?
For who?
To pick that guy from Texas Tech, that edge rusher from
No.
Texas Tech.
Nope.
Wilson would. You wouldn't be mad? I'd be mad.
I wouldn't be mad.
I think that's stupid and moronic.
Guess what? We can agree to disagree. But I do know that the Patriots really have. They've looked at wide receivers very closely compared to years past. Like I saw.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Zay Flowers.
Well, it reminds me It reminds me of the year when we drafted N'Keal Harry. We were, it was kind of the same momentum of us looking at a lot of guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that really set us back. Honestly, the N'Keal Harry pick going back. Can you imagine? No, that really did set us back.
Imagine if we had AJ Brown or DK right now.
Debo, Brandon Ayuk,
yeah.
any of those four, and we're a completely different roster. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think they're definitely gonna double dip. I could see them double dipping at wide receiver. In the coming weeks.
All right, cool. I mean, enough talk. You want to get into our first Minutemen Pod mock draft 1.0.
Absolutely.
We're just going to go through the first 4 rounds because we figured those will be the most impactful picks for the next season, this upcoming season.
We'll do a 4-round mock for the people at home.
So for the viewers on YouTube, you can see we got a mock draft. Yeah, on Spotify, we got a mock draft up here. Just do a thing. It's just going to simulate the picks before the Patriots. I'm going to make a pick. John's going to make a pick for the Patriots on that pick.
All right, here we go. AR-15, first off the board.
AR-15, first off the board. A couple other guys gone.
And not going to lie.
So we're up here at 14.
Let's see. So AR-15
for the Patriots.
Off the board. Stroud, Gonzalez, Bryce. I mean, yeah, this is pretty reasonable. Like, all these guys are going to be gone, I bet. But, all right, so you're up first.
All right, with the 14th overall pick, I'm going with it's a need for the New England Patriots, and I'm going with Joey Porter Jr. He brings those physical attributes of like Marlon Humphrey and kind of Jalen Ramsey. He's a big hitter on the outside. I think he gives huge upside potential to a number 1 cornerback here. That's something we haven't had since really Stephon Gilmore in his prime. So I think it's a good selection for the Patriots at 14 and get good value. Nice 5 years out of a first-round cornerback.
Gotcha. Okay. So I disagree with you. I would take Devin Witherspoon over Joey Porter. I think that guy's going to be a dog. But I am going to draft an offensive player, and that is going to be... You know what? It could, honestly, it's either going to be Darnell Wright, tackle, or it's going to be Devin Witherspoon, and I'm going to go Devin Witherspoon.
All right, so we both go cornerback. John, you opt for speed and ball hawk.
Yep.
And I opt for physical presence on the outside. I think either of those picks, I don't think the Patriots, our fan base would be mad. I don't think you could go wrong just the way we coach defense.
I don't know what happened.
John fucked up the draft again. Just click the back button, dude.
It's going to take us back. All right.
Oh, my God. This is a catastrophe.
No.
This is an absolute catastrophe.
It's easy.
All right, so I picked Joey Porter Jr., cornerback, Penn State. John picked Witherspoon, cornerback, Iowa. Both filling the need for cornerback first overall. They had a couple options of tackle and wide receiver on the board that we decided to both pass up on. I think that cornerstone in the Patriots defense is probably the most important thing needed coming into a draft. Just knowing that the quarterbacks we have in our division and our side of the league and how essential a number 1 cornerback has been, in locking up other number 1 receivers. And not having one that you have to overpay for, too. Having some guy cheap where you can build other things.
We had to restart, but
The pick's still standing. It's all right.
Yeah.
So go to the next.
Go
to our next
I agree.
pick.
We're both going to
Pick,
take Joey
yeah.
Porter.
All right, round 2 is up.
Okay.
Let's see who we got here on board.
Ooh, Jahmyr Gibbs
Good.
just went at 44. That would have been a nice pick. What position are you thinking of here?
Well, you're up. John's on the clock currently now.
Oh, I am. Okay. So I think I really want to take a receiver. I'm looking here. I think we can get a few of these guys in the next round. So I'm not going to pass up an offensive tackle. I'm going to take Cody Mock out of North Dakota State. He's got a lot of positional versatility. He can play. I think he's played all 5 positions, but we can develop him for a year, or he could take over halfway through the year at right tackle. But who are you thinking, Max?
All right, well, I can't see the draft board anymore, but that's all right. I was also thinking tackle, but it was the guy out of Georgia who's more of a true tackle. McCannon, something like that.
Oh yeah, Warren McClendon.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think we have a lot of versatility on. Yeah, if you go back.
That's right here.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of versatility.
Yep.
On the O-line. It's a reach for second, but I think Bill, he's picked Georgia guys in the past and 2-time national champion. So I think he'll slide in and be a day 1 starter.
I like
for when
that.
Trent Brown gets injured or released in training camp.
Yeah. Yeah, you can always count on that. But all right, you're on the clock again. Hendon Hooker
All right,
is still
third
on the
pick.
board here,
Go.
which is crazy.
Go over to the wide receivers, please, so I can see who's on the board for
Yep.
us. Can you scroll down?
Dell. Nathaniel Tank Dell.
Yeah, so I think the third round we're gonna do I won't even say reach. I think a lot of these wide receivers that are left on the board here are kind of toss-ups at this point to whether they're gonna be impact players or not. But I'm going with Tank Dell.
Great route runner.
Great route runner, and I think that just leads to some breakout plays here. But I think this guy already is going to be one up over Tyquan Thornton from last year.
Yep.
So I think he's going to slide in for that wide receiver pick up the top 3 rounds, which we talked about before. We need a guy in the top 3, and he's going to be the guy that we go with.
Okay. I'm also going receiver, but I'm going to go Jonathan Mingo. I mean, if you look at him side by side next to A.J. Brown, they both look like they were built out of a lab. The guy runs a 4, he's like 6'3", 230, runs like a 4.4, and he can replace Parker next year as the outside receiver. I think that's a home run selection here.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick. I don't think he's going to be there
Yeah, I don't
in the
either.
3rd round during draft day.
Yeah. All right, so I am back on the clock. Let's see. So we got defense. See who's around. Some edge guys. Corner. Safety. I'm going to go back to the offensive side of the ball here. And I am going to take Zach Kuntz out of Old Dominion. He
Tight
tested
end.
off the board. Next year, we don't even have a tight end under contract. I think he could be very good in Billy O's system. I'm going to go with Zach Kuntz.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think Jasicki, we only got him for a 1-year deal, so whether that works out or not, and then we're going to end up having to extend Hunter Henry or something, I think this would be a good year to draft a receiver to where he'd get a little bit of action as our number 3. But, we'll still have time to develop him a little bit, which that guy, he would be a developmental kind of piece.
Yep.
If you want to go back to offense or wide receivers and running backs so I can see who's on the board here.
Running
I
backs.
think Dell's still on the board. Could pick him again. Go back to the top of the running backs. I don't need to see all the way at the bottom there.
This is it. Who are you taking?
Go back to defense, to outside linebacker.
Edge, okay.
I'm going to take the best available edge.
DJ Johnson.
Yeah, out of Oregon. That's just a positional play for me there.
Yep.
Someone in the 4th round who kind of where he can still have some impact, off the edge, kind of fill in there. Just kind of strengthen our linebacker core as well.
Yeah. All right, we are back on the clock here. Let's see. QBs. No, I'm not going to take a QB. Running back's interesting. I would take Rashawn Johnson, but I don't think he's going to be in the board in the 4th. I think he's a 2nd rounder out of Texas.
Yeah, I think he's getting picked earlier too. I didn't think he was going to.
Yeah.
Why they put him that low?
But honestly, I'm thinking about drafting another tackle. Edge, linebacker, corner, safety. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go back to the wide receiver here, and I'm gonna take Demario Douglas out of Liberty, 4.4 speed, more of a slot. He's an athletic slot, can get you some yak. I think this is another great pick. You're up, Max.
Yeah, it's a home run pick there. I'm going to go, like you said, I'm going back to tackle. I'm taking another depth shot for the Patriots.
Yep.
I don't really know most of these people, so I'm just going to go top of the draft board. The
Wanya
guy
Morris.
from Clemson. Yeah, or that guy.
Wanya
No,
Morris.
take the guy from Clemson.
All right, here he is.
Jordan McFadden.
All right.
Just another tackle to add depth.
We've got the last pick here of the 4th round. These are the best available guys on the board, Max. Who are you taking? What position?
Kuntz could still be picked there, but can you go back to wide receiver? Because I think the Patriots are going to take another wide receiver in the top 4. Could take Delican. Scroll down a bit.
Ronnie Bell's he's a slot. Yeah.
Yeah. Michigan man. Bill likes Michigan. We'll go Ronnie Bell from the slot.
I agree.
The guy was a senior coming out of Michigan.
Yep.
He didn't really have, I would say, like breakaway abilities or anything like that, but he was good in his route and small routes and stuff like that.
Yep.
For
I
a
agree.
check down.
100%. With my last pick, I mean, because he's still on the board, I would take him, but that's not realistic. I'm going to take another Oklahoma running back. Do I want to? Yeah, I'm going to take Eric Gray. Similar running style to Ramondre, where he hits that hole and he can run over 3 people. So I'm going to take him for some running back depth. Bill loves to add the running backs on the late day 2, definitely day 3. I think this is a good pick. And this is our official draft. So we added in the trenches quite a bit. Got some receivers in there. Overall,
yeah, I think Jonathan Mingo, if we were able to get him in the 3rd round, even if we have to trade up for him late 2nd round, I think that would be a home run pick. I think that's a guy who not a lot of people are going to be talking about. Kind of similar to what A.J. Brown was to DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
Coming out of Ole Miss that year.
Yeah.
Except, he's just a big boned receiver who's going to be dominant, I think, in the NFL in the next level.
And I really think day one, you've got Joey Porter Jr. You can have that number one receiver, he'll be a sticky man corner on Diggs, Waddle, Garrett Wilson. And I think and now Bill can do whatever he likes to do on defense. So I think that was a home run draft. All right.
Awesome. Mock draft 1.0.
In the books.
Complete.
Let's go. Striving for 7. That's how you build Super Bowl teams, through the draft.
All right. Little issue here with the screen for John, but I think it'll pop back on in a bit, hopefully.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't see you.
Well, you've been blurry the whole time.
Well, it's not that I can't see. Like, I literally can't even see your face.
Oh, really? You can hear me though. That's all that matters for the listeners.
When their internet improves.
Yeah.
Said your internet needs to improve, buddy. But in regards to that, we're going to go to the last segment before we break into other news. So this is going to be a Patriots segment. 6 questions, 6 rings. So we're going to pick a player in my mind. John will pick a player in his mind. But today I'm going to choose a player. John's going to try to guess who he is in 6 questions or less. So it's like 20 questions where he can only ask yes or no questions. And he has to try to guess the player on the New England Patriots active roster. In 6 questions or less. 6 questions, 6 rings is brought to you by the Minutemen Pod. Visit www.minutemenpod.com. Check out our merch store.
Blog, subscribe. All right.
I got the player in my mind.
Gotcha.
You can go ahead and start guessing.
Okay. Is this player on offense or defense?
John already fucked up the whole part of it. Again, we'll reiterate the rules. 6 questions or less, they have to be a yes or no question.
Okay.
Not open-ended.
Okay. Is your player on offense?
No.
Okay. That's 1. Is your player a safety?
Nope.
Is your player a linebacker?
Yes.
Is this player Juwan Bentley?
Nope.
2 more. Is this player So you didn't really specify whether he was inside or outside, but it's all right. Is this player?
That's not for me to specify, buddy. It's yes or no
All right.
questions.
Is this player Josh Uche?
No.
I mean, is this player Jelani Tavai?
Yes.
Let's go on the
Jelani
6th
Tavai.
guess.
On the 6th ring. The 6th question, Johnny pulls it in. Jelani
Okay.
Tavai. Contract extension at the end of last season, I think, is going to be a critical part of
Played
the
well
Patriots'
last year.
defense
Played well
going
last
forward.
year.
Played great. I think he's only going to improve. Bentley being the thumper in the middle, Tavai can run around like a little, head cut off with his hair hanging out.
Yeah. Also,
So Jelani Tavai on the 6th. That's Johnny.
He's
Johnny
the-
1, Max 0
Let's
on the
go.
season of 6 questions, 6 rings.
let's go. All right. I'm thinking of a player. I got my player. 6 questions, 6 rings. Let's go.
Is this player on offense?
No.
Is this player number in the range of 0 to 10?
Yes.
Is this player Jalen Mills?
Nope. No.
Is this player a safety?
Yes.
Is this player Jabril Peppers?
Yes, it is Jabril.
I
Look at
knew
that.
I had Peppers or Bills in my head. I should have just went back to it.
Peppers is a dog. A dog.
Peppers
You got a nice little extension. A lot of incentives in
in
there.
5.
Yep. All right.
Five,
In
tied at 1-1.
our last segment, before we get to other news, is going to be Weddle. Okay. All righty.
Alrighty, folks. We'll get back to Weddle next week.
But
All right, let's go into other news to wrap this up. So, other news in the NFL:
Yep.
that OBJ signed with the Ravens, 1 year, $15 million guaranteed, up to $18 million in incentives, which are pretty reasonable incentives. It was over 60 catches, over 1,000 yards, over 13 touchdowns. As a solid number 1 for any team, those are completely obtainable numbers.
Yep.
Now, bearing they have Lamar Jackson or not, could play impact to that. I think they will have Lamar. But John, what are your thoughts on that?
definitely overpaid, but I'm not sure if you saw Lamar told the organization, go get OBJ or go get D-Hop, and then we can start talking. So this was definitely a necessary move. I do like the move, though. I think he fits a lot better than D-Hop would have fit because he can run those slants a lot better than D-Hop. D-Hop's more a possession guy. But I like the signing. Probably overpaid, but think it should pay some dividends for the Ravens.
No, I think OBJ's best days are behind him, which is kind of sad to say because we didn't really get to see a whole lot of him in his prime.
But when he was on that field, top 3 receiver,
but
no doubt. No doubt.
Not even in Cleveland. I think Cleveland was such a waste of his
Oh,
career.
yeah,
His years in New York, the end of his deal there, he was one of the best players on the field, but I think his whole career gets kind of overshadowed now just because he hasn't really played a whole lot. But there you go. And then NFL Sunday Ticket came out with their prices for YouTube. YouTube TV got that contract, which is huge for YouTube. The prices came out and it was like 4x what it was on, or not really, it was kind of double, but will you be buying? Will you be purchasing?
I mean, you have to. So I swear
With their-
not.
Yeah.
So I'll pay it. A little expensive, but it is what it is, honestly.
Will you get YouTube TV, or will you
No, I'm not
just
getting.
buy the Sunday Ticket?
I'm just gonna buy the Sunday Ticket. I
think
don't.
I'm on the same thing as you.
I don't have YouTube TV, nor do I really want it.
Can't cancel cable. If I didn't have cable right now, and if I wasn't into a contract for cable, I'd probably would buy YouTube TV. And
for sure.
get it that route, but oh well. And then the Commanders, the sale that happened but didn't really happen. I saw today that the sale might not be final. There was some more bids that trickled in, I guess. But for now, Dan Snyder looks like he's 100% not going to be the owner.
I don't know.
Going into the draft, so
I got to see it to believe it because that guy just doesn't want to give it up,
Yeah, I feel like there's a whole lot more that needs to go on besides just a Twitter announcement that the team has been sold for an NFL team to actually be sold.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with you.
And then we got NBA playoffs that started, got the playing games, which are just a joke.
It's just a joke, it's right. Celtics
NBA,
absolutely
what a joke of a
up
league.
on the Hawks, but yeah, what a joke. It's really unwatched. I tried watching a few games last night. Just difficult to watch. The guys are such divas.
Kudos to you, man.
I know.
Kudos to you. I couldn't even bring it, unless it's the Celtics in Eastern Conference Finals with a game or like a game 7 or a game with huge implications. It's going to be really hard for me to watch those games.
That's like the NHL for me.
It just is.
I know. I'm
I can get behind. I'm so rooting for the C's. I hope they win. I hope it's a stomping in every round, though. The Bucks are probably the only team that scares me in the NBA. In the East, I'm not really scared of any other team.
Yeah, no. Question for you.
Besides the Bucks, only just because of Giannis.
Yeah. Would you rather have the next 5 years, the Celtics win 4 NBA championships or the Patriots win 1?
Patriots win 1.
Yeah, me too.
I think that
saw that
Super Bowl ring. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
seventh Super Bowl ring. That's all there is to it.
Oh, it tastes better than 4 NBA rings. Or
It's
whatever call
yeah.
it.
Well, we're already enshrined in NBA history as one of the most historic franchises. MLB kind of the same, especially and hockey is it's hockey. You win one Stanley Cup and your team's good forever.
Yeah.
But the NFL, I mean, to have that seventh above every other team, and to
crazy.
have one without Tom, I think would be huge for this organization.
Yeah.
The one without Tom.
Can you imagine?
It might. I'm not gonna lie. It might taste a little bit sweeter,
I think it will. Hopefully, we get
just
there.
because of everything. How good for him. He went on 1-1 on his own. But I think when and for him personally, that probably tasted pretty good too.
Yeah. Can you
that one
imagine?
probably felt really good.
Can you imagine Bill during Tom Brady's Super Bowl with the Bucks? Do you think he watched it?
Oh yeah, he definitely watched it. He was rooting for him.
He's like, "Oh, this fucking
I think
guy."
he's his guy.
Yeah.
But I think I think what pissed Bill off the most is when we lost to him. The game.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
The monsoon, folk, man, Jesus. If any conditions that kick was going in, we were winning that game.
Yeah. That honestly.
Not to dwell on the past, but
Yeah, I'd agree. That was a fun game.
yeah. And then we also something we haven't touched on, the Masters. What an unbelievable Masters it was. Had all the highs and all the lows, from a tree almost killing people to the rain delays to Tiger.
Tiger.
Rory completely butchering it.
Yeah.
But it was a fun Masters to watch.
And then just John Rahm putting an absolute clinic on. I really do
Clinic.
think that golf's in a great spot right now.
Yeah, thanks to the LIV Tour rivaling the PGA Tour.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It
I don't know.
wouldn't be-
I don't know if you guys are able to sense this, but Max is definitely a fucking LIV guy, and I'm a PGA
It's great
guy.
for the game of golf.
It's
Competition's
really
great for the
not.
game of golf.
What has
It is.
what has the LIV Tour done to even? Why do you think there's even any sort of rivalry? There's nothing whatsoever.
There is no rivalry, but it breeds competition. It makes people better. The PGA Tour, the top players in the world are playing like 5 more tournaments than they did in years past because of the LIV Tour.
I completely.
To get more eyes on the PGA.
I agree.
Don't tell me you agree. Don't tell me you agree.
I agree with.
You were just
No,
all right, Kevin Na. Chill the fuck out.
I agree with that aspect of it.
Kevin Na.
Saying that this has helped the PGA, but the LIV Tour hasn't done shit. How about Patrick
They haven't
Reed?
done shit in
That
themselves.
guy's a buffoon wearing 4 aces.
All I'm
Year
saying is
in
they
year.
put more eyes on golf. The whole news and everything of it has been good for golf as a sport, not as for separate leagues. I don't really give a fuck about the leagues.
Yeah.
But golf as a sport, it has definitely made it a more national, headline.
Yeah, how about
And you
the?
can't argue against that.
Yeah, I'm not arguing against that. How about
It's
Brooks?
been good for the PGA Tour too. The LIV Golf is definitely the PGA has definitely benefited from the LIV Golf becoming a thing.
Yeah,
as much as it hurt it with losing some all-time players. In that row, it's also kind of helped kick them in the ass. And
How about Brooks Koepka basically admitting that if he were fully healthy 3 years
Yeah,
ago,
he did.
or 2, whatever it was, he wouldn't have went to the LIV Tour, which I think
Yeah,
is pretty
and-
interesting.
It
But-
is interesting, but nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, nothing
Kind
you
of a
can do.
pussy move on his part for admitting that.
I don't think so.
It is a beta move. There's nothing you can do about it. So why talk about it?
Yeah, because guess what? The PGA Tour breeds competition. You want to be a competitive golfer, you go to the PGA Tour. If you want to go sit and make money, you go to the LIV Tour.
Make hundreds of millions of dollars.
Okay, ready?
Yes, John. I would rather have $100 million. I would rather have $100 million than be on the PGA Tour.
Okay, would
Yes.
you rather have $100 million or $15 million? All right,
$100 million.
Yeah, I mean,
You sound stupider and stupider every single time you talk now. Yes, $100 million. I'd rather have that.
okay, all right. I'm not disagreeing, but I'd still prefer to be on the PGA Tour. We can end this.
I
debate here.
personally, I'd rather be on the PGA Tour too.
Okay,
there's definitely
there
higher.
we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it.
But if it came down to money, which is what the players had to decide, I would choose that all day. all day. Especially if I already made a name for myself in the PGA Tour, and I won majors, and I'm already going into the PGA Tour Hall of Fame, like Phil, like Brooks, like Dustin. I'm out of there, man. I am out of there. But if I'm a young guy like Cam Smith, I don't know. You know, he had a name. He still needed to make a name for himself on the tour.
Yep.
Really, he was kind of just on the up and coming, and now it's kind of like, I mean, he could win as many things as he wanted and live, but I don't think the history of golf will remember him as much.
I don't think anybody would remember him, to be fairly honest with you.
I think if he stayed on the tour, won some majors though, more majors, you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That was talking Masters. Hopefully we'll get on the course a lot this summer.
Yeah.
On the road to shooting 100.
No, breaking 90. Breaking 90.
Breaking 100.
Breaking 90.
Then we got NHL playoffs. The Bruins, best team in NHL history. Playoffs start. They play the Florida Panthers. I'm going to try to get out to a game, get some content for the pod.
Let's go.
That we can talk
Go Bees.
about. Maybe, may not. I'll be going to Game 3 if I do go to a game, but we'll just have to update you next week on next episode. And then MLB, the Red Sox, off to a lackluster start. A lot of people calling for Core's head, calling for Chaim Bloom's head, calling for Owens to sell the team. And I couldn't agree more with all of them.
I agree with 2 out of 3. I think Core's a great manager. Doesn't rely too much on analytics. Think he should be around, but Chaim needs to go. I will drop him off. I will personally drive to Massachusetts, pick him up, drop him off at the airport, and drive back. Terrible.
You'll do that?
I would do that.
You would do that?
I would do that.
Oh my God, John.
I would do that. But yeah, I did see that John Henry is, I'm not sure what it was, maybe making some budget cuts or whatever for the Penguins.
It's for the Fenway Sports Group, and
yeah, it's terrible.
You know, that whole debauchery. It's not one guy owning a team anymore. It's a whole group, a whole bunch of people with hands in the pot that don't want money. They are looking as their franchises as businesses now instead of sports teams.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Bad for the sport. I don't think it's good for the sport. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, I think we pretty much touched up on everything. Johnny, any closing remarks for the episode? Anything you're looking forward to in the coming weeks?
Really, really, really looking forward to draft time. So a week and a half, or almost 2 weeks now. I'm looking forward to that. We'll have a pod drop next week.
And we'll probably
week.
be live streaming on YouTube during the draft so we can get live reaction of all the picks and all the Patriot things. So stay on lookout for Twitter we dropped it. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be a live stream on YouTube or Twitter. But we'll update you on the next pod about that.
Yep.
And I'm also looking forward to the draft. I'm looking forward to the Bruins playoff runs and the Celtics playoff runs. It'd be cool if we get a couple championships, a couple parades in Boston.
Go
but other than
C's
that,
and
let's
B's.
fucking go Patriots.
Yeah, let's fucking go. We're a few months out. OTAs actually.
Brilliant, baby.
OTA starts
OTAs.
Monday the 17th. Let's go Pats.
Peace. Love you guys.